Hello, this is a tutorial video on how to use the Macro HUD. If you are like me and many other people who use the Prime Wrestling system, you are in love with the macro features because they allow you to do absolutely crazy things that you wouldn't be able to do without them. And if you don't know about how to use a macro, check out one of our other videos. So, if you have managed to fill all 22 of these, now is the time to get your hands on a macro extension HUD. What the macro HUD does is it basically allows you to have access to even more macro buttons. You can have it across the top, you can move that to across the bottom, you can have it on the left side of your screen, you can move the left side of your screen to the right side of the screen, so you can have it on pretty much anywhere you want. You can also wear two of them together, so you can wear the side one and the top one together. So you can have, as you can see on my screen, an absolute array of macro buttons to fill and have them do all magical things. So what's the difference between the Prime macro buttons and the macro HUDs? Not only the fact that you've got more buttons, because you've got 27, and the fact that you can use it with the Prime HUD, you can edit the buttons a little bit better. So let's show you. So if you're going to do a command, let's say something simple, something like this, you'll notice the button goes green when you put the macro in, like the Prime HUD does, and then you can accept it, and all of them disappear, leaving only the one button left. Now, the good feature about the Macro HUD is it's a little teeny menu button in the corner. If you click that, you can set a label to this button. So you can have this button say anything you want. In this case, I've put test. And you can also click color and set the color to whatever you want. So let's say black or purple. And you can do that with all of the buttons. You can do it when the pencil's open, and you can also do it when the pencil's closed. And you can do the same with the side buttons. Set a macro. So let's do a say hello world. And then we can click the menu button in the corner. Set the label to matte. And then we can set a color to, if you press page 2, there's multiple different colors, to Barbie pink. And then we can press the pencil and lock it in place. Now you can see we've got two names on them, we know which ones they are, and we've got a color system. We can also hide it and show it if we don't want it on our screen all the time. Make it nice and convenient for you so you don't have to clutter your screen up too much. So some of us use the macro system with shortcuts and gestures. And if you don't know about that, there's another video that says how to make a macro into a shortcut. Please check out that video. But how we do that is we use a command. And the command for the Prime HUD is /67 preset and then pipe and the number we want. So this macro here would activate the P2 button right there. And then we can set this with the shortcut keys to whatever we want. So let's say Shift 9. So now when I do Shift 9, it would activate that preset button. You can do exactly the same with the Prime macro HUDs, the top and the side. And how we do that is we use a command here. Let me show you. So we use a different command, and the command is /71 macro 1, and what that will do is that will activate the macro on the top. So /71 macro 1 is the first button, /macro 2 would be the second, 3, so on. If you want to do this move on your partner, so you've got a partner in your target down here, and you want to do that macro on your partner, you can set it to /81. And 81 will do the macro on your partner. If you want to do that macro on the referee, it is 91. Now, to make it so that you don't have a problem using both of the HUDs at the same time, if you want to totally have 1,000 macros going at once, we wanted to make it so you could use both the macro HUDs in conjunction and you didn't just have to have one. And how we've done that is we've set the side macro HUD onto a different command. And what that is 72. So the top one is 71 and the side one is 72. So using 72 macro 1 would activate this button here. Using the command 82 would do that move on the side on your partner target. And then finally 92 will do that move there on the side of the HUD to your referee target. And that's how you can select the macros on a macro HUD with a gesture command. And remember, if you want to make it to a shortcut, you just use the shortcuts here, and that will target these two. Now, because of the Prime HUD, when you save and load, you are only saving the macro that's inside it and now the color of the button. The macro Prime HUDs, the macro HUD here, these basically have more information that they need to take in, and in which case we've made a new floppy disk which is called the Macro Edition. The difference between the two is that the macro ones are red and the Prime HUD ones are blue. By using a macro save disk, you can do exactly the same by clicking the pencil, and you can save, clear and load. If you don't know about using a floppy disk, there's a video that is about using a floppy disk. Go and find it. It'll give you the information. It's exactly the same way to do it for a macro HUD. So you'll use this one. Now, when you are saving moves, whether it be for the Prime HUD or it be for your macro HUD, please make sure that you take off all other HUDs that are using the same sort of functionality. So what I mean by that is, if you're saving your moves on your Prime HUD, make sure you take off both your macro HUDs before you save. If you're loading the moves into a macro HUD, make sure you take off your Prime HUD and take off the other Prime HUD. Or other macro HUD, and just have the one HUD on that you want to save or load when you're using these floppy disks. If you have multiple up, there's a chance that it might go onto both of them or might break. So please be very careful. Just make sure that you're using the one HUD and the one disk, not multiple disks, not multiple HUDs. Otherwise, you could end up breaking something, and we don't want that. If you do have any issues, questions about using this, or you've broken it or anything like this, just blue question mark here, and that will take you to a group. And inside this group, you can either join this group and we will assist you if you just put a message in there, or alternatively, you can join our Discord channel, which is found within the group, and that will take you to our new group. And here you can go into one of our channels, like for example our help customer service channel here. Put your question down and somebody will be able to help and assist you. I hope that's been helpful to you, and I hope to see you in future videos. Goodbye.